Hello everyone, I am back with another video for this week. I think my third one of this week, so man, I'm on a roll. Last night, my girlfriend and I went and watched Venom: The Last Dance. Now there is going to be some spoilers for this video. I'm going to try and talk generally about a few things, but then there are some things that I do want to get into. And so, just warning you, spoilers at some point. I will warn you when I'm about to go into spoiler territory. So, Venom: The Last Dance, the third and final of Tom Hardy's Venom trilogy, part of Sony's Spider-Man-less cinematic universe. Honestly, I walked into this film expecting it to be a dumpster fire. The first two Venom films are okay. The first film, which is still the best in my opinion, I give about a C+. Carnage is a C-. It's the worst one of the three. Last Dance, I would say, is the middle ground. I actually did like Last Dance. But, you know, there was not a lot of evidence to suggest that it wasn't going to be a trash fire because, you know, the first two Venom films, they're okay at best. And then, you know, we've had such winners such as, you know, Morbius and Madam Web. Phew, boy. Oh, and there's still Kraven the Hunter this year. But anyway, so I walked into this film expecting it to be a trash fire. I was surprisingly entertained. I did enjoy the film. Like I said, it's probably the middle ground between Venom 1 and Venom 2. I do have some gripes and some comments. There are some things that I think could have been better, some things that absolutely do not make sense. And just, you know. But we're going to get into some of that. I don't think it's worth a theater watch. Maybe when it's out on video on demand. Watch it then. So, a couple of things I do want to touch on before we do spoiler stuff. There's moments that... There's definitely some moments in the film where it's like, this was done just so we can have the next part of the plot happen. There's very much a moment where Venom does something incredibly stupid. And I mean Venom himself, not Eddie. Eddie calls him out on how dumb this is. But, you know, still happens anyway, because we gotta have the next part of the plot happen. So, there's that. They weren't too egregious, I don't think. I don't know why the cop from Part 2 is in this movie. He delivers some exposition to the other humans that aren't Eddie. His symbiote does look cool. Toxin does look cool. And then, yeah, his purpose in the film isn't really, like, his presence isn't really necessary. It very much feels like one of those, oh, we promised Toxin at the end of 2, we better have him. The character of Null, the god of the symbiotes, their creator, does appear. We don't get a lot of him in this film. It very much seems like Sony is setting him up to be their Thanos, which... God of Darkness, that in the comics, if you watched any of my videos of the King in Black comics I read, which I very much love. The God of Darkness, who required Eddie to be the host of the God of Light and combined Silver Surfer's board with Mjolnir into a battle axe to kill. And right now, Sony has an old man in a bird costume, a vampire, Dakota Johnson, and potentially 3 Spider-Women. They're not Spider-Women yet, though. Oh, and Kraven the Hunter, possibly. Don't know how that movie ends. I don't even know if I'm going to see that movie. Anyway. So yeah, they're stacked to take on Null. There was definitely a couple of characters that I felt were very just kind of hollow. The character of Rex Strickland, played by... I can't pronounce his fucking name at all. The guy who played Mordo in the Doctor Strange movies. He's very much the military trope of, you know, fuck all your science bullshit, these things are a threat, they need to die, fuck you eggheads type person. Which is in contrast with Dr. Teddy Payne, played by Juno Temple, who is very much, we need to study these, we need to know everything about these aliens. You know, my brother had an alien obsession, and he's dead, so I'm gonna continue this obsession. You know, human lives be damned, science matters above everything. So they both kind of were just those tropes. Yeah. Mrs. Chen is in the film. She's fine. She's actually part of the reason Venom does is stupid. But at that point, it's like she's here just to be part of a plot contrivance. And she's literally only involved in, like, the one scene, and that's it. She's not in the rest of the movie at all. So I don't know why she was here. Yeah, the film's okay, at best. So with that said, now 8 minutes in, we're gonna talk about spoilers. So... if you don't want to be spoiled, go away, go watch the movie, hopefully months from now, and then come back. Or just forget about my existence entirely. I am fine either way. Like I said, I do this for fun. So, by the time my hand gets to a fist, you need to be gone, because then I'm going to get into spoilers right now. So one thing I know the internet will probably bitch about is the fact that Venom is dead. Except he's not. But Venom is dead, and the only symbiote we have right now is Agony, who is attached to the chick doctor that was studying the symbiotes. But, you know... Venom isn't dead because there's the piece of him that still exists in the 616 universe, which I will give Sony this much credit. I am very happy they decided, you know what, like, they gave us a fake out with the whole, you know, recreating the bar that's at the end of No Way Home, bringing in the same guy to be his character, and still leaving a piece of the symbiote behind for Baron Mordo to get. He's not Baron Mordo, I just can't pronounce his damn name. Because, you know, white boy from Ohio. So I do appreciate that much. So the piece of him still exists in the 616 universe, and during that scene, Baron Mordo picks up a piece of Venom that was left behind at the other bar that exists in the Sony universe. But shout out to Venom being like, I hate multiverse. Man, they're really leaning into the whole, people are just done with this whole multiverse shit. And at the end, the very last post-credits scene, we see the containment unit that piece of Venom was in is shattered. And if Agony's appearance in this film tells us anything, it's the fact that even a small piece of the symbiote can become the whole thing. So Venom's not dead. He'll be back somehow, some way. You know what? Fucking Venom makes a comment about how Eddie would be a good dad in this movie. Maybe we'll see Dylan at some point. Fucking son of Venom, why not? So, I will give Sony this much credit as well. Both for, crediting Donny Cates, which the Spider-Man 2 game didn't. And they basically ripped a lot off from the Donny Cates run of Venom comics. But also for the fact that they kept some of the lore revolving around Null correct. God of the Void created the symbiotes, symbiotes rebelled, the planet Clintar, where the symbiotes are from, is not a planet, but really a prison made of bodies to try and keep Null in there, needing the codexes to be free. But instead of needing multiple codexes, there was only one in the film, and it was made by Eddie and Venom after Venom brought Eddie back to life towards the end of Venom 1. So that's a little different, but I'll let it slide. And the brief glimpses we do get of Null, played by Andy Serkis, he actually does look cool. Like, I will give them that. I just wish I could be confident in Sony being able to, pump out decent movies and actually kind of do this thing correctly. I know they're gonna make Spider-Man 4 be King in Black. I know they're gonna do it. I don't want them to do it, but they're gonna do it. And obviously this film didn't, reignite any hope in Sony for me. So, there's all that. But at the very least, Null looked cool. And, if when we get him again in probably Spider-Man 4, it'll remain to see if Andy Serkis was a decent choice for the character. Honestly, voice-wise, thought he did fine. But there are multiple symbiotes in this film. Another thing that I will give this film credit for. We have an ending fight with like half a dozen other symbiotes. And honestly, it looked pretty cool. Like, I was surprised how cool this fight looked. And just how different they made the other symbiotes look. And I'm like, you know what? I'd watch more of that. That is awesome. So kind of what I beat around the bush when it comes to Toxin. Again, don't know why he's here. It could have been literally any of the other symbiotes that they have stored at Area 55. Because Toxin is here to deliver exposition and then die. Like, every symbiote in this movie except for Agony and probably Venom, because, that tiny piece of him. Every symbiote's dead. So, I've kind of just, my brain has kind of run out of anything I want to say. Oh, the fucking hippie family that people were speculating, who are these people that are driving Eddie around? I don't know why they were here. Like, I didn't understand what was the point of them being in the film. I mean, it's a nice moment. It is, but like, they don't do anything. They're at the final battle against the xenophages, the things that Null sends to go after Eddie and Venom. I should also probably specify Eddie is not dead. Venom is. Shout out to the dog. I will also tell you that Spider-Man does not make an appearance in this film. I actually made a comment to my girlfriend, and as the ending shots of the film are Eddie in New York, and I'm like, what if during these shots you just see, like, in the background just a vaguely red dot just swinging through the city, and she just put her head in her hands, and she's just like, that would be a giant fuck you. But I was sitting there laughing like an idiot because I thought it was funny. So the last thing I think I'm going to go over is Null's post-credits scene, which very much sets that he's going to be the main, or the overarching main antagonist, probably, for whatever Sony's got next. You know, talking about how the King in Black has awakened, your worlds are gonna burn, and I'm going to make you watch. I don't know who he's addressing. Apparently, Venom being gone is a bad thing, even though he was also the key to Null escaping. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Dude's talking a lot of big shit for the fact that the key to his prison just died. So, I don't know. I don't know what Sony's got planned. I don't know if Sony knows what they have planned. We'll see what happens, I guess. Overall, the film's a C. It's okay. Watch it on video on demand. That's me. Done with this video. I will see you guys next time.